Alright, is anybody here? No. It's probably good for you. You don't want to be here. You don't want to talk to me. You just don't want to do it. Let's see what this sounds like. What you doing, Panka? You know you can't retract messages around here. What a shame. Alright, that got old quick. This is my Jill stream. Ain't nobody here. Panka was here. Said something. I don't know what she said. Meanie. So I wonder, what have I got here? Yeah, I got that. Maybe I'll change it. Get up here closer. You see my junk. I got clothes that are folded, but I need to put them up. All right. I don't know what this is, but we'll just try it. Fuck it.
Get real world experience.
Get real world experience. Hey, buddy. Everything I do, believe it or not, is in the real world. It's all an experience. Trust me. Really boring and sucky, ain't it? Not like nobody's here to watch see anything, but for me, it's kind of sucky. I don't like it. So let's see if we can find something else. There's a different chill out. Let's see what this one sounds like. We're just going through stuff. If y'all find something, put a recommendation up. If you don't have blue, I'll give you blue. Just put in a link. Tell me something you want to hear. Give me a request. This one seems like it's just repeating itself. Hopefully it'll change here, maybe. No, it's not going to change. It's stupid. We'll try this one. Did I already do this one? I think I did. Let's try this one.
This lighter is completely waterproof.
No, it's not. That's a lie. That lighter is not waterproof. I have that lighter. It's a joke. like that one.
I don't.
What did you say? I don't like it. Like I said, you don't like it. Okay. I liked it. Let's see. Talking. Thanks to all of the 0 people who are enjoying the stream. Been going for 43 minutes. Had one person hop in. Said something while I was playing. Then just retracted their message and left. Wow, what a good friend. Thank you for being so kind. Fuck off. I don't know what to tell you. I've had a bad day. You don't even want to know. All right, 53 minutes and only one removed comment. I'm so popular today. Thank you so much for not watching. Appreciate all 0 of you. Yeah, that's awesome. Being nobody's here, I guess I'll just go take a break and smoke a cigarette. Here, y'all can, let's see, what can we do? All right, Cliff Note. How you doing? Cheers. I didn't realize somebody would actually come in here. And you just missed me. I was going to go have a cigarette, but if you can, Cliff Note, you got moderator. Find me a backing track to play with. I don't care what it is. Hopefully it's in like E or A or something. I don't want no weird like G, C minor stuff. Normal tuning, backing track. It could be blues. It could be any genre you want. I'm going to smoke a short cigarette. I'll be back in like a minute. Find me a backing track and post me a link in here and I'll play with it. If you want to, you can do it. But anyways, I'll be right back. Oh, maybe I should give you guys some something to listen to since I'll be gone for a second. Here we go. Let me turn this down. I will be right back in just a few minutes. Yeah, I'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. But yeah, give me something to play with. Requests are always good. Okay. I'm going to go catch some cancer. It's a 100. Extra long. I said a short cigarette, but it's a 100. Sorry. I'll be right back. Sorry, I had to rearrange my stuff. I'll be right back. Find a backing track for me to play with, Cliff, if you want. If not, you can just leave like everybody else does.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce.
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Sure.
Get more with Geico.
Hi, I'm checking in.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you.
I love Skinny Pop. Anyway, what's your name?
Jennifer
Mm-hmm.
Aniston. Skinny Pop, popular for a reason.
Okay, I think I'm back. I should be back. Oh, look, somebody else came in. James. We're back. Can't see what's being said, but hopefully it's nothing too crazy. All right. All right, Cliff Note, you found something. Cool. This reminds me of Artificial Red. Mad Season. I don't know what that is, James, but okay. And welcome to the channel. I don't know if I know you, or maybe you've been here. You put a spell on me. Oh, yeah, what I'm playing in the background. Yeah, that's what this, oh, it does remind me of Put a Spell on You. All right, let's turn this up. And let's see what Cliff Note has here. All right. Let me cut this other one. Oh, he's got some blues for us. I have no idea what this is or what key it's in. What key is this in? Do you know? I guess it don't matter. I'll just figure it out. I'll make it whatever key I want, right? Yeah, I'll just do whatever. All right, let's try this backing track from Cliff Note Madison. Thanks, Cliff, for giving me something to play. Let's see how it works. Oh, it's 10 minutes long. I might not make it through the whole thing. We'll find out. Give me 1 second. boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm proud to present to you the Sam's World. Well, that was really fun, Cliff Note. That's a long little blues thing, but it was fun. James is leveled up. I don't know what the levels mean or what they do. Was that a little SRV? I didn't recognize. I don't know. I don't play covers. I don't know what I'm doing. I only play by ear. I have no idea what notes I'm hitting. I have no idea what keys things are in. I have no idea about any of it. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I just move my fingers around. It makes noise. Hey, find another backing track. It can be any genre, anything at all. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be classical, Beethoven, all the way up to death metal. I might not sing because I got people in the house right now, but I will play it on guitar. Give me a second. I need something to drink. Oh my gosh, I hate cables. They get in the way so much. All right. Tonight for dinner is peanut butter and jelly on white Wonder Bread. And I got me some rock stars. And stuffs. Although I probably shouldn't be drinking rock stars. I like ZZ Top. ZZ Top's cool. Is that ZZ Top? Ain't Judas Priest? I don't know. I always get copyrights when I do real covers. But I do backing tracks. Although I probably get copyright on that too. I don't know. Let's just search in ZZ Top style backing track. I don't like playing the real songs because they already got all the guitar and everything in there. There's a ZZ Top style backing track jam. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, somebody else is playing it. That's not what I want. I don't want to watch somebody else playing a ZZ Top backing style track. I want to play it myself. Fuck. What's this one sound like? ZZ Top style. It's in a different tuning. All they did was change the tuning. It's in the key of E. Whatever. Yeah, that's hard to play something that's like ZZ Top, but not ZZ Top. It sounded like, here's what it sounded like. Fuck it. Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
Told you I don't play covers. It's just too loud anyways. Here we go. Gotta do some leveling here. It looks like I was zoning out, like I was all in the red and everything was like too loud. I miss Peaches. I don't like it. I can't do covers, man. Not a cover guy. Hey, Miss Peaches, find a backing track for me to play with. It can be anything. All you gotta do is type in whatever you like, backing track, and I'll play with it. But I can't play with normal tracks because everything's there and I don't know what to do. I'm used to adding stuff, but what am I supposed to add? Like ZZ Top ain't supposed to be a 5-piece band or whatever. So let's see. What you in the mood for, Peaches? I love you. I missed you. Hope you've been doing okay. I do have some metal backing tracks on my pedal board, but I've been trying to kind of just veer away from those. But I might be able to do one here. This is not
That's me,
that.
driving through.
This is on YouTube, but this actually might be cool. I don't know. It's just some heavy stuff. Because Peaches made a rocker sound, so I want to do rocker stuff now. I don't know why. Love you, Peaches. You're such a good person. Anyhow, let's see what this sounds like. Oh my gosh. Does this thing ever end? Oh my gosh. I can't do that anymore. That's too much. Oh God. I don't think I've done that in a long time. I think I've tried to do it before. I don't know. And that's okay. I'm sure there's something else we can do. I'm actually going to get one off my board here. And I got echo. Shit needs to be dry. I got to use the restroom. Is it okay if I go pee? Will y'all hang out just for a minute? It'll only take like less than a minute, like 30 seconds. And it'll let my thing load. Just hang out for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I made it back. Thanks for being so patient. Okay. No pee for you. Keep playing. Yeah, I'll just pee on the floor, Peaches. Too late. I done peed. How diverse is my catalog? Can you switch to Christopher Cross? I don't know who Christopher Cross is, but I can switch to anything you like. I am so diverse. I said I would play anything from Beethoven to fucking raging death metal. I dropped my guitar pick. It went in a black hole in the floor. I gotta get another guitar pick. Okay, I got another one. All right, maybe you like this one. I don't know. The mix is probably gonna be off though. Hold on. And this is gonna be like heavy, dry. Yeah, I'll do some of that, James. Sailing. I'll try and play anything. As long as it's in the right tuning with my guitar. I do have a Floyd Rose, so I can't just retune this one easily. As long as it's in standard tuning, yeah, I'll play it. All right, here's some heavier stuff that's a little drier. Well, I clicked the wrong button and deleted the track. Hold on, let me try again. Okay, I think that was kind of heavy. I don't know. I see what you're saying. Other than Peaches pissing on me. No pee. No pee. Too late. Done peed. Christopher Cross. Is that what we're doing? Christopher Cross sailing. Okay, we'll try that. Those damn guitar picks always get lost in the black holes on the floor. I'm telling you, Peaches, when you play guitar, if you drop a guitar pick 97.3% of the time, you will never see that pick again. I don't know where they go. It's something, they fall into the Matrix or something. I have no idea. Hear chords from the Zoo Scorpions into Metallica-ish. Blackened. My World. I like Blackened. I remember that song. But I mean, I don't know how to play it. I don't do covers, but okay. But I guess I'm going to do a cover. I'm doing Christopher Cross Sailing. Is that the what is it? What is Christopher? Is that the South Park? While I'm sailing away like an open book that you can't be. Is that you really doing that? You want me to do Sailing by Christopher Cross? Is that the song? Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. Is that it? No, it sticks. All right, then what's this then? All right, here we go. Let's see what this is. I don't know what this is, but let's do it. All right, I gotta hear it though. I don't know what's going on. Let me hear it for a second.
Well, it's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me. If the wind is right, you can sail away. Find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe me. It's not far to never land. Reason to pretend. If the wind is right, you can find the joy. The innocence again. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe
Might have heard this when I was a little kid. Yeah.
Sailing takes me away to where I'm away. Just a dream of the wind that carry me. Soon I will be free. Fantasy, it's the best of me when I sailing. All caught up in the reverie. Every word is a symphony. Sailing takes me away to where I'm always just a dream, the wind will carry me. Soon I will be free.
the fuck you doing to me, man? No, less is not more. Not on this bullshit.
Takes me away.
This song sucks. This song needs to be a heavy metal version. That's what needs to be happening.
Free wind to carry me. Soon I will be free.
Backing track created by Lalaland Tracks.
Oh wow, even the guy that made the track has to do it. Yeah, I think it needs to be heavy metal. What the fuck is this? Yeah, it needs to be heavy metal, right? I don't know. You got me, though. That was pretty good. You got me. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, that whole band right there, that whole song is like a million fucking musicians. What do I add to that? What do I add to that, man? That's like orchestrative. I mean, I could add stuff, but it probably won't fit in. Not for me. I don't know what I'm doing. So let's do something weird. Let's see what this does.
Now you only need one
Oh,
subscription.
no,
instead
you
of
only need
multiple
one
AI tools.
subscription
One of
for
my
all TikTok. You only need one subscription. What was the question? I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm making. You like Floyd style? Alright. We'll get rid of this. Yeah. Okay. I like that one, Cliff. That was a good one. I appreciate you sharing that one. For sure. You know I like my Floyd stuff. I don't know what I was doing there. Well, thanks for sharing. Um, any color you like. Tell me something. What color? Those sheets. Oh, shit. Steve, how to hunt. Literally his intro. No. Who's Steve? I want to watch Steve. Steve's cool. I don't know who Steve is, but I'm saying Steve's cool. I like Steve. I'm Steve. Sorry, that's a weird thing. What else can we do? Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I don't know what else to do. Okay, I don't know what that was. So I gotta look up this.
Truth is,
The truth. You don't have no truth. Nobody has any truth. Every truth is the only truth that we know because we are is simply a product of our environment. If you were raised in a hole and you only thought the hole was the entire world, that would be your truth. So I don't like hearing people say the truth is, because your truth might not be the same as mine. Sorry, I had a tangent. I might have to have another cigarette to calm my nerves down. It's been a rough day. Did I say it was a rough day today? I don't know what to play. There's nothing. Major power blues. I need to smoke a cigarette. Why do they call this slow major power blues? This is not power blues. Fake news. Truth. Oh my gosh. So today this guy told me, hey bro, in a week we're going to be making $25 an hour. It's going to be minimum wage in the whole United States. Some black guy. He didn't sound like that. And I was just like, really? I hadn't heard about that because that would really go against the policies that Trump's trying to implement with the tariffs to try and bring our economy back. He was like, no, man, it's going to happen in a week. I'll be so happy. I'm going to be making $25 in a week. And I was like, you're going to make $25 an hour in a week, huh? That's funny because I hadn't heard nothing about this. And he's like, oh, yeah, he done signed it and all this stuff. I looked it up on my lunch break. Total fake news. I don't know where he found this or whatever. I'm like, yeah, bro. So that's fake news. He wouldn't believe me that it was fake news. I said, well, just Google it. I said, this fake news is propaganda. He can't raise, minimum wage to $25 an hour when he's trying to do what he's doing right now. That would totally ruin our economy. And I looked it up as like some kind of fake propaganda AI video that was made by whoever to just try and, throw a wrench in the gears. But it was funny as fuck. And he didn't believe me. He really thinks it's real. I'm like, dude, it's not happening. He's like, no, it's happening. I'm serious. And he wouldn't believe me. Like, he really thinks he's going, in a week, he's going to make $25 an hour. Like, he currently makes, the man currently makes $15 an hour. He thinks he's getting a $10 raise, I guess. So that's funny. At least it was funny to me. And the funniest part was that he wouldn't believe me that I'm like, no, dude, that's fake news. That's like not real. I researched it on my lunch, and I get like an hour lunch. So I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, it's totally fake video stuff that got put out. I don't know. It wasn't even CNN. It was like some the dude that makes the frog. And what's his name? But it was that shit. It was just funny. And I was like, oh my gosh, does he really believe all this shit? Like, if you're gonna like watch stuff and this and that, you gotta research and make sure what you're watching is real. Because people make a lot of shit up. People will just steer you in any direction they want just to get to you. What they do is they use your emotional value to try and get views. They realize everybody is a human. They have emotions. If I can tap into their emotions and make them excited or even upset, I'm going to get views. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. It was just funny to me today. But, granted, this kid's like 22 years old, so he's dumb. Whatever. Not that all young kids are dumb, but he was dumb. He's just... That's okay. That was about the nicest moment I had today. What else can we do? Got any ideas? I'm getting tired. I gotta be at work at 6:30 in the morning, so I can start at 7. Have a nice 12-hour day. Then go back in the next day. No. Tomorrow is a 9-hour day. Next day is a 12-hour day. And the day after that is a 17-hour day. And then, if I'm lucky, I'll have a day off. Shine on, you crazy diamond. All right, last request. And then I'm out of here. Because I got to go to bed. I just realized this is going on 9 o'clock. All right, let's see if I can find something that sounds like that. I just seen a bug run across my floor, and it was the fastest bug I've ever seen. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Remember when we were young? Every time I don't know the words. I want to sing now. Ah, fuck it. Remember when we were young? We shine like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Sometimes I think I'm too good, but I'm just a fool. Yeah, whatever. I think I'm done. Now that I think that I'm done, unplugged my guitar. Gonna sit it down and sit right back in. Go to sleep 'cause I gotta work tomorrow. Shine. Thanks, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Just want to say I appreciate every one of you. Appreciate you, Cliff. Appreciate you, James. Pretty much you two are the guys that just kind of hung out here. And just want to say thanks. And I hope y'all have a great night. I will see you guys later. Peace.